Dear distinguished professors and guests, have a warm and cherished good morning to one and all. And we are in the third day of FTP program, Assessment, Accreditation and Quality Assurance in Higher Education Institutions. Let us start the program with a quote, never stops believing in hope because miracle happens every day. I am gracefully welcome Dr. R. Ramanibai ma'am, former professor and head Department of Zoology, University of Madras, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Her area of specialization are biodiversity and taxonomy. Dr. R. Ramanibai ma'am organized a national conference on current perspectives on in aquatic biology, sponsored by CSIR, MOEF, and University of Madras in 2006. He acted as a coordinator for summer training program in biological sciences for postgraduate students in life sciences, sponsored by Science City in 2009. He was an invited professor for University of Science and Technology, France, July 2007 and June 2008. He acted as an editorial board member in Journal of Current Sciences, Journal of Ecology and Fisheries, Journal of Threatened Taxa, Journal of Environmental Biology. He was acted as reviewer for many journals like African Journal of Microbiology, Journal of Zoology Taxa, and Springer Environmental Sciences, Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology. He received grants funded by DSTWOS New Delhi. He received the UGC BSR one-time grant award in 2014. He is a planning board member in 2019. He acted as UGC nominee college potential for excellence in Thiruvalluvar University in 2015. An evaluation of progress report under UGC UPE projects MKU, and she is a Tamil Nadu Open University faculty recruitment committee member in 2015. In her era, she has acted as a member in national levels such as Senate member, Madurai Kamaraj University, and member of Academic Council, Mother Teresa Women's University, selection committee member for recruitment of lecturers in various colleges, and University Women Scientists Association, Chennai, Indian Association of Aquatic Biology, Hyderabad, and coordinator of UPE Phase 2 Theme C Project 2. Also, Iraxus Links in India. She is a community member, lifetime member, Asian PGPR Society, and OSWT Life member, Italy, International Paleolimnological Association, US, and the Micropaleontological Society, UK in international levels. She completed 28 projects and she has published 16 articles, more than 90 papers in famous journals. The page is not enough to describe her profile. Let me invite such a knowledgeable person, Dr. R. Ramanibai ma'am, to deliver the topic about resource mobilization and funding agencies in India, and hand over the session to her. Ma'am, please.
Very good morning to one and all. First of all, let me thank the principal of your college, Dr. Sundara Pandian sir, and former Vice Chancellor of Salem and Pro Chancellor of DU University Bangalore, Dr. Muthuchirian, and Pearl Foundation, and my dear colleagues and my dear student friends. First of all, let me thank you for giving me an opportunity to share some of my views related to the research funding agencies and also how to write the project. So my title is Research Funding Agencies and Writing Strategies. So I am Dr. Ramanibai from University of Madras. Before going into the further detail, let me briefly explain what is research. So research is a very simple, as it looks, research is very simple. But while doing so, you might understand what it is and how to proceed, how to go about it. So in simple words, we can see research refers to a search for knowledge. And research means scientific and systematic research for pertinent information on a specific topic. So in fact, you can say research is an art of scientific investigation. So investigation itself is a broad domain where you are going to enter into a broad domain to know the knowledge, to get knowledge about the proposal, about the question, how you are going to raise in either in a social science discipline or a science discipline. The purpose of research is to discover answer to questions, not even discover answer. You are supposed to get answers for your questions raised through your experience or want of or thirst of a knowledge. So that is called a research. Research, already available thing according to your vision will and also what the thirst you have within you. So that is all about the research. So you are going to research what you want to do. That is all about research, because you are going to get an answer for a question, for a knowledge what you want to gain. So coming to the type of research, there are major, because I'm going to stress you, give you three major types of research. One is descriptive research, other one is analytical research, the third one is applied research. By way of uttering the word descriptive, analytical, and applied, you may know what it means. So descriptive research means a survey and fact-finding queries. You are not going to add anything that, because it is already available. The fact is already available. The major characteristic of this method is that the researchers, as you don't have a control over the variables or even you can say the data. So if you have a data in apart from your methodology, apart from your experiments, you can have control over it, and accordingly you can apply some statistical application and bring back the results what you want. But this is not the case in descriptive research, because you are going to survey and fact-finding inquiries. What was happened in previous years, and also you can predict what is going to happen based on the fact-finding available within you. That is the descriptive research. The second one is analytical research. And you have to apply your analytical mind. You have to analyze the thing what is already got out of your research or out of your methodology advocated in a question or to get an answer. On the other hand, the researcher has to use facts or information already available and analyze these, make a critical evaluation based on the data available within you. You have to critically evaluate the material, whether it is a fact or a true or a thing, and also whether you are going to advocate it in the future. So you are going to apply your analytical mind to the data available within you, unlike that of a descriptive research. Coming to the third one, the applied research, it aims at finding a solution for an immediate problem facing in a society. The best example is now we have a corona everywhere. So to find a vaccine for that corona, it's a problem solving. It's an immediate ready reckoner to the society to overcome or to face the coronavirus affecting the population. So that is the applied research. So you are going to apply your analytical mind through various experiments to find out a solution for an immediate urgent problem facing by a society or facing by an industrial or facing by a business organization. That is about the applied research. In general, within a single word, we can say gathering knowledge for knowledge's sake is termed as a research study. Whether it can be a pure study or a basic research, that is all about the research study. So to do the research, okay, you have the problem, you are going to solve the solutions out of the problem or out of the data available from that fact, either it can be descriptive or analytical or your own thing to carry out the research. You need funding support, where we are going to stay more than a few more times to know what are the funding, research funding, how we are going to get this funding support, what are the research institutions, agencies are available in India and also in regional in Tamil Nadu, where you can tap or where you can apply your research project. So I already told you, having a good idea, now basic idea is only one part of the question. So you have something in your mind to do the work, but you need funding support. The second equation is funding support, where you are going to get your funding support for your question to be answered. The one is you have to identify the possible funding resources. So there are there are two different major headings. You can see science and social sciences funding institution and funding agencies are available. So that is how to identify possible funding source according to your basic domain. The second one is how to write a best research proposal to get funding. The second one is a very big task within for a research scholar, for a student, for a new coming faculty member, even for seniors, how to write a best research proposal to get funding support is important. So coming to the research grants, so we have a national funding agencies. I will tell you the major name of the major funding agencies to you, where you can go into their website and see what are the types of funding agency they are giving, supporting individual students, at least all the faculty members and researchers. So my talk will be the research grants introductions and the type of funding agencies and types of funds and also funding scheme. So this is my major component of my talk today to you, to share some of my ideas with you. So research funding is, so in general, in those days, they will give funding support to attend the conference, seminar, workshop, or even training programs. Now, after that, they support you when you are going to participate in a conference. For example, you are going to present your research findings either in a conference or seminar or a workshop or a training program. They will give funding support for you to attend, travel to and fro, and also staying, and also for registration and all. They will support, the funding agency will support you to take a part in any conference, seminar, workshop, or even training program. And second one is, so you can organize a seminar, a symposium, a workshop, or even short-term training program. This short-term training program may be for the students, for the scholars, for the faculty member. Even to some extent, you can also train the NGOs on rural people. Even social science funding agency will support this kind of short-term training program for the rural upliftment of the people from living in that area. So third one is a research grant for UG students, PG students, and PhD scholars, and postdoctoral students, and also career development schemes for the faculty members. And to some extent, in those days, we used to get publishing our article in a refereed journals. Sometimes it may be in dollars or even in so for that, you are supposed to pay your minimum charges for reviewing your article like that. In those days, we are supposed to pay some nominal amount to publish in this. Now, so the when they are coming to support the support money to publish your article, nowadays you can say there is some number of mushroom journals where you can pay and get published, means not up to the mark. Now only the UGC has come into this stage, and they have given a list of number of journals where they are authenticated, where they are referred one, where you can publish, and that will be taken into account for your career development or for your promotion. The last one is minor and major research projects. Minor projects and major research projects given to the principal investigator, where you can include a co-principal investigator 1, 2, or even 3. So it is for either for an individual faculty member or for a group of researchers where they can apply under minor and major research projects. So coming to the funding agencies in India, let me briefly explain two major funding agencies in Tamil Nadu. The one is Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology. They are supporting major projects. I think the maximum amount limit may be 3 lakhs for the faculty members. And also PG students, they are giving some 4 to 5 months support to carry out their projects for MPhil students to carry out their projects. The Science and Technology in State Council in Chennai, in Anna University campus, it supports you, where you can, the students pursuing for their projects, they can apply and get support from this Science and Technology. The other one is National Biodiversity Agency. where they will give the only to conduct, I already told you, seminar, workshop, training program, or even for conference, the National Biodiversity Authority, they will give some sort of funding support to popularize or to give some sort of awareness to others as well as to the PI to do the to conduct conference, meeting or workshop. Even forest department also, they are giving some short term, maybe some 2 or 3 months project, but your area of specialization or where you are going to work, it should be under their domain, their broad area, then only they will support you. And apart from almost all the state university, they will give some sort of startup funding support to the newcomers, new faculty members, or either from unassigned grant or from university support. And for even the faculty members, the university will support the faculty members to go and present their findings in a conference, maybe in Indian, within India or even international conference. Through unassigned grant, they will support you. So these the Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, NBA, Forest Department, and the university concern, they may support to some extent, where you can avail the opportunity to go and publish or you present or even get some project proposals. Apart from this, I'll in national wide, I will give the list of the funding agency available in India. So mostly this I'm telling this is for a science domain: AICT, CSIRO, CSIR, DRDO, DAE, Ayush. Even you can apply for this Corona, and also even Ayush people or our skin herbal products are naturopathy, Unani and Siddha, and DBT, MOES, DST, DSIR, ICMR, IMD, ISRO, MOCIT, MOF, MFPI, CPRI, MOSJ, that Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and Water Resources and Conservation Resources, UGC. And Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Environment and Forest, Department of Information and Technology, Department of Ocean Development, Department of Science and DSIR, Department of Space, and also Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology. So these are some of the agencies which you give, which support you to carry out your research fundings. Apart from that, you have ministries. So ministries are Ayush, Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate Change, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Ministry of Labor and Employment, Ministry of Micro, Small, Medium Entrepreneurship or Enterprises. They are supporting the small entrepreneurship, individual entrepreneurship to start their work or even startup, and Ministry of Minority Affairs, and Ministry of New Renewable Energy, and Ministry of Petroleum and National Gas, and Ministry of Powers. These are the ministries where you can apply your project, your novel idea towards the benefit of the society. You can apply and get. So altogether, there are 401, that is 401 schemes are available out of 54 ministries for an individual or from a group of researchers to avail funding support. Whether the only one thing is very, very important, that is your project should be a viable one. So just few funding agency I will summarize it, because where frequently science researchers will apply. The one is CSIR, they are giving JRF, SRF, RA, SRA, and emeritus. And these emeritus scientist schemes for the researcher or faculty members, those who have retired after 60, they are giving 3 years as an emeritus scientist to continue their research work, and also even to some extent they will support 1 or 2 research scholars to guide for their PhD program. And also research scheme, they will, the CSIR also supports research scheme, sponsored research schemes. Shanti Suri Bhatnagar Prize they are giving, G.N. Ramachandran Gold Medal Prize they are giving for even young scientists, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Fellowship, grant for seminar, and already I told you grant for travel. So coming to ICMR, now ICMR is giving the COVID-19, the ICMR, DST, CSIR, are giving funding support very recently. Within a short time period, you can apply your novel ideas to cure the coronavirus, means they are funding projects. So ICMR, they will give short-term visiting fellowship, ad hoc research scheme, research fellowship associate. Ad hoc means those have completed their PhD, want for looking for a job. In the meantime, they will give you some ad hoc research scheme where you can continue your postdoc in the name of postdoc. You can continue on do some research fellowship, get some research fellowship, do your work after PhD. And JRF, Emeritus Medical Scientist scheme, they are giving. Center for Advanced Research Task Force project also, they even DSC is also giving task force projects under task force scheme. The new scheme is medical innovation. I already told you, this is a medical innovation fund. They are looking for good result out of the natural calamity. One such is your corona. So coming to UGC is very well known to everybody, and wherever you go to any college, they'll say whether you got UGC or not, because UGC giving both major and minor research projects and travel scheme for college teachers, vice chancellors and commission members, research funding council for major and minor research projects in 10th plan, and major project in now they have increased the maximum amount is 20 lakhs in UGC. But temporarily, the major research project proposal is at least under some modification. In that sense, they have stopped funding support after 2014. I think they may revoke the major project science under UGC. And humanities, they are giving humanities, social sciences, languages, literature, arts, law, and allied disciplines. That is for maximum. I think they are going to increase the upper limit of the project funding support. But unlike that of DST and DBT, UGC support the university system itself. They are giving many projects to the university, and for colleges, and for individual department, and for the schools of the university department, both for university and colleges, and for individuals in the name of minor and major, and so many fellowships for the individuals, for girl child, like that they are giving. So if you go into the website of the UGC, I think that you will get almost all the detail, and also you can update your whatever information you want for a single domain or multiple areas. You can get information from out of UGC website. For university only, they are giving the incentive for resource mobilization, general development assistant to central, state, and deemed university. And travel GAN, I already told you, travel GAN, conducting seminars, workshop, conference, and short-term courses, and publication to some extent they are giving, supporting you to publish your data, and special development grant for universities in backward, rural, remote, and border Northeast. They are giving, they are supporting even Northeast. Almost all the funding agencies are supporting in a grand manner to bring out the unexplored things to the explored community, science community. So for both university and colleges, they have the guidelines for human rights and value in education, and guidelines for setting up of media center and affiliated media centers, guidelines schemes on lifelong learning and extension. It's recently inducted in this UGC. So lifelong learning and extension centers, e-content development, you can prepare even e-content development, they will support you, and guidelines for establishment and monitoring of the internal quality assurance cells in each and every university. We have the cell in our university. And for individual, they will give you research awards, emeritus fellowships. Research award is JRF, SRF, RA, and all. And travel GAN or a travel scheme for college teachers, college librarians, commission members, and UGC officers also they are giving. So they are giving postgraduate Indira Gandhi scholarship scheme, postgraduate merit scholarship scheme, and Kodari is a very famous one. Everybody almost who was eligible, they are applying and getting award from the Kodari fellowship out of UGC. And projects for teachers, I already told you, major and minor. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, postdoctoral fellowship in humanities and special social sciences, they are now giving. So coming to Department of Science and Technology, so already by name itself, you can able to understand it is only for science and technology mission. So they are giving our engineering research is also included under this technology development, technology, science and technology, socio-economic development like NRDMS. They are supporting women scientists, a special women scientist program here I will stress you, we have WOSA, WOSB and WOC. We have 3 schemes under this Women Scientist Program and Technology Mission, programs for project support, intensification of research in high priority areas, Ramanujan Fellowship, J.C. Bose National Fellowship and Ramana Fellowship. So sophisticated analytic instrument facilities they are providing, even up to 3 crores and 5 crores. Even our university has inducted physics department, sophisticated analytic instrument we inducted, and Swarna Jayanti Fellowship, fast track, Boy Scouts, KVYP, and the international travel support scheme for participation in conferences who are going to held in the abroad. Then assistant to professional bodies and seminars also they are supporting. Coming to the earth science system, they are giving a wonderful earth science system. Even you can create geography, geology, and you can bring out, you can at least in a geological school of geology or school of earth science system where you can avail in group, collectively 3 or 4 departments can join under this. You can avail, or you can submit a proposal in a very big proposal where you can identify 4 or 5 areas under a common broad heading earth science. Mathematical science program, utilization scientific expert retired, that is users, and support for participation scientists abroad, and seismicity program, SERC visiting fellowship is also prestigious one where you can avail. Then coming to Department of Biotechnology, like DST, like UGC, DBT is also supporting, they are having many more schemes where you can avail. They support grant for equipments. Yeah, you can buy an equipment. Suppose if we say now everybody is working, the science people are working PCR, even you can buy, if you want an instrument for your laboratory, for your department, you can apply and get. But the only thing is you have to justify why you want this equipment and for what experiment you are going to use, and also who are all the persons who are going to avail the facilities once you are inducted or once you have purchased that particular equipment in your department. That is very, very important. Then consumables, contingencies, overheads, staff and travel covered as required for the research project. This is a support given by the DBT. Biotechnology based programs for rural, I already told you, if you are going to work for rural areas or hilly areas, definitely they will support you. If the project is genuine, if the project is very valued, they will support you. Then one more thing, bioinformatics research and development projects also DBT is supporting. And also you can see in very recently, DBT also floating advertisement regarding the coronavirus vaccine. Those who are going to work individually or in the research group or within a college or a collaborative research program, they are going to support you. Now the scheme is available from DST, DBT, CSIR, ICMR, AYUSH and all. Those who want to work in this area, definitely you can avail the opportunity and benefit out of these agencies. I'll give some of the website where you can log in, where you can see the program. What I left, I didn't include you. You can see the even latest programs, even the programs advertisement even yesterday. You can see the websites out of this paper. These are the website, you can take note of it, or otherwise we can go which area you want to work. That is very, very important. So this all about, we have seen the funding agency, what are types of fundings they are giving, the individual or a group or an institution or a college or collaborative thing. I briefly explained to you the funding type of the fundings out of the few agencies highlighted for you. Now we are moving on to the next thing, that is the research proposal. This is very, very important. So now you know you will be getting funding support if your project is valid and also very innovative, very novel. You can get definitely funding support. For that, let us see what is a proposal, how to write a proposal. That is very, very important for an individual or a group. That is very, very important. So what is a research proposal? Let us see. We should have a proper proposal in written form before it is actually carried out, before it is actually submitted to the funding agency. It is like a blueprint. You are going to have a blueprint for you. So that blueprint may be modified, may be add on information before submitting to the funding agency. Writing a research proposal is both science and art is very, very important. You can write even social science or even science. A good research proposal is based on scientific facts are very, very important. The research, I already told you, we are going to research the facts already existing, how you are going to see that frog through your materials method or through your methods advocated to see the facts are very, very important. You should have clear communication. You have to communicate the funding agency very clearly how you are going to arrive or how you are going to get answer for your question is very, very important. So that is writing his project is a big task for a research scholar. Once you have finished that job, finish. So you definitely you will be getting funding support from the agency. Writing a research proposal. You should raise 5 questions in front of you before writing the blueprint. 1, what? The second question is how. The third one is why. Fourth one is when. And fifth one is where. That is very, very important. So you intend to study your scope and research question is what are they and how you are going to arrive at, whether you can include your methodology, how the routes, the pathways to achieve your proposal, to carry out the work, to carry out the questions what you are raised before. That is important. Why? Why the need of the project? Why the need of this kind of work to be carried out in the present day context? You have to justify why. That is important. So when we will start, when you will complete, timeline is very, very important. Maximum, almost all the agencies, as far as I know, they will give maximum 3 years of time to complete the question you are raised in your project, and the means and ways you finish, you have to be within 3 years time frame. Even sometimes some of the members, they didn't complete the project, they may go for extension, but in very, very rare case only they get extension if they are justified why they didn't complete this project within the time frame limit while they submit the project. They have to justify. And the last one is where. Where will you conduct this work? Are you going to conduct, if you are an NGO, you have to substantiate where you are, and if it is if you are an NGO, then if you are a scientist, a science you are doing, you have to justify where you are going to work. Authentic, established laboratory. The place is very, very important because they will know whether the facilities are available, the problem you have given in this project proposal, whether you are access to carry out your proposal in that particular area where it is maybe in a laboratory, where the laboratory is fully equipped or it has got facilities to carry out the kind of work you are proposed to carry out in your proposal. This is very important. Please keep it in your mind, this 5 questions: what, how, why, when, and where. This is important components of your blueprint before writing the project. Now, let us see what are the parts of a proposal. First, you should give a title. That is very, very important. It may be an attractive one. It should be an attractive one. So the title should attract. Very important, that title. Next one is introduction. Even some of the agencies, they'll give 1,500 words or 1,000, 2,000 words only, because you have to restrict yourself. Don't elaborate it, describe this and that. To the point, be to the point and be brief to the point and pinpoint a specific point. You have to introduce the subject to the readers. Then the problem statement. What problem you are going to work for your project proposal, that is very, very important. The problem statement is very, very important. And also purpose. What is the purpose? Then they may ask you, when everybody is doing, why you want to do the same kind of work. So like that, you tell what purpose, what aim. Rational is very, very important. Rational, where the strongest point, where you are going to stand on your own support. That is your rational. Then you have to raise 1 or 2 or 3 research questions, where the research questions will be answered through your methodology when you complete within the 3 years of your project. And review of literature. Without this, you cannot say, because you cannot write on your own, this is this, this is that, because You have to go and do literature survey authentically. You have to say these are the things available under this topic, and this is the lacuna in this topic, untouched by many of us. Only few people are working in this area. So I want to concentrate this area of research. I think it will give you some benefit to the society or give answer to the critical question raised by the scientific community. That is the very, very important area. Proposal part is review of literature. Then objective. They don't give some, if you see some of the projects, now they will give some 10, 15 objectives they give. You restrict yourself maximum 5, minimum 3. So you, because you know the time limitation of your project, the time limitation of our project is maximum 3 months, 3 years. Within the 3 years, you are supposed to give answer the objective. So you restrict the objective in such a way so that you can get some good answers, some good result out of your work when you conduct for the 3 years. So objectives must be restricted. So you have to write an objective. Even some of the proposal, you can say only one objective, some of them will give. Some of them, most of them have also got funded, received funded support, because the one objective will tell you how he is going to execute the work through this. And also maximum you limit, is my experience, my advice, you restrict your objectives minimum, maximum to the 5 objectives. Then comes the methodology. Methodology, you can give any number of methodology, but don't give all simple methods in and significance of significance and implication is very important. So you have the title, you have the background, you have the problem, you have methodology, you have the object, everything. Now you have to give the significance. Even significance sometimes plays a major role while giving support to the funding support. They will come to know. So these are some of the implications is very, very essential for the society, essential for the scientific community. So even significance and implication of your proposal sometimes may fetch funding support from the funding agencies. And overview of, so you have to write the overview of chapter in a very small paragraph. So you can tell according to, because each and everyone got as their own way of writing. But apart from that, if you have your own way of writing, you see that what are the overviews of chapters you want to do like that. You can tell these chapters are very important. I want to do this because when I do this kind of work, it will fetch this kind of result. Like that, you can overview the chapters. And plan of work is very, very important. You can give in a pictographical plan of work, starting from 0 day up to 36 months. You can get plan of work is very, very important. So you cannot simply say, I am going to search for a review of literature for 6 months or 8 months. So they will ask you what you are going to do. So nowadays, unlike that of sitting in the library without taking Xerox copy of the printer, everything, now everything is available in ready reckoner, in your gadgets, in your mobile or even a computer. Even in library, they have very good facilities to take a printout of whatever article you want to read. So that out of that thing you can take out. So don't spend more time and also for a plan of work or getting a literature survey. So because before writing the proposal itself, you got a literature survey. Based on the literature survey only, you have identified the problem to be solved by you. But not while writing the plan of work, don't give more time to go for literature survey. So you can 1 month, that I think maximum you can go, because you are going to add, because writing proposal can take the time, submitting proposal and the time of award. So in the due of time, you may come across few new latest literature survey where you want to add to your project proposal. Additional to that, you can do that at least for a month time. So that is that. And bibliography is also very, very important. These all the parts are very, very important while writing your proposal. I told you, you are having your blueprint with you. The blueprint will tell you what kind of problem you are going to work. These parts of proposal will tell you what are the parts are very, very essential to write a proposal, irrespective of agency. These are all very important parts of a proposal. One should keep in their mind before writing a proposal, before planning your blueprint. So creating a working title, so orient your readers to your research topic. So by name, by title name itself, they will come to know, okay, you are a social science, okay, you are a science, you are going to work. So you are going to work in biotechnology, or you are going to work botany, you are going to work. So a title itself says, even if a collaborative research work, you can tell, because they will identify you are going to work in this area. So orient your reader, orient your title towards the reader. They will identify you, your area of specialization or your area of expertise in that area. So that is very, very important. So purpose, aim, rational research questions, these are things. Explain, the very, very important is you have to explain your goals. And research objective already told you. So show the original contribution. Sometimes they may ask you, what are your experience? You do have a previous experience. After completing your post-graduation, you might have entered in a research field, or also you are going to write, or even after completing your PhD, you want to write your project proposal, you can tell, these are the contribution I did while I was doing my research work. These are based on my research component. I want to further continue in this area, and these are all my objectives where I want to carry out this objective in new way or novel way. Like that you can give. Provide a more detailed account of the points summarized in the introduction. So I already told you about rational and all. So in addition, you have to raise a questions, scientific questions. Out of, you can, the hypothesis, this is not exactly hypothesis of that study, you can raise, and also you can tell, my work will answer these hypothetical questions once I completed this project. Include a subsection. So subsection they may ask, otherwise if they didn't ask a subsection, you can give a subtitle to your proposal. So that you can give one or two subtitle and where you want to work, what you want to work. So the some of the for literature survey, you can see some of the thing I have given it to you. For review of literature, so I told you review of literature, it's a vast area that will show even some of the, when we go through the proper project proposal, the literature survey, suppose they are, for example, they are submitting their project proposal in the year 2020 means their literature survey may be in 1990 or even 2000. For the lack of 20, there may be some gap in 20 years. So what they want by way of writing literature is, they wanted to know you are on par with scientific committee. You are updating yourself. Your literature survey will tell you, you are then and there, you are updating yourself by way of doing research and also literature, that will tell you. So whenever you write your project proposal, please include latest reference, latest literature survey in your project proposal. That will indicate you are on path with the scientific community. So the scholars are written about your topic, everything. So analyze the data and all. And how other scholars connect their specific research. So you can tell, so in these some of the areas, some of these research groups are working in this area and the such and year. So I want to work in this area, but this sometimes some of the specific work may be regional oriented. If it is regional oriented, you can tell them it is a regional oriented one. They have worked on that, the climatic condition is like that. They have worked on it, they have arrived at this conclusion. For our convenience, for our climatic condition, and given this as a regional problem, I want to work for our own regional survey. And this, I think, hypothetically, this will give you the result for my questions. So review of literature, I already told you why I want to do this. Justify the methodological choices. Suppose if you want to estimate protein, there is Lowry et al. It's a standard one, it's a bubble one for the protein et al. It's 1950. So they will ask you some justified method. So even you can tell from this, I am going to advocate modified protein estimation. Like that you can give, you can use the word modified one. The one is previous one, the one authenticated for this kind of estimation. I am going to use modified techniques or a modified methodology. So demonstrate familiarity with the topic. So by reading your project proposal, the one will understand, the expert will understand your familiarity in the subject, your familiarity in the topic. and also your update knowledge in that area. So research methodology is a way to systematically solve the research problem. We have seen this earlier. So it is necessary a researcher to know not only the research method techniques, but also the methodology is very, very important, because that will give you how you are going to solve your problem. So you have to discuss the procedure clearly. I already told you, you have to give the procedure in depth. There is no page limit or no words limit. You can write whatever methodology you are going to perform for this project, you can write. So specific procedures you are supposed to write. Study design, study, if you want to study the population or sample specification in science, you can give. And instrumentation is very, very important. Sample size is very, 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 very important. So you cannot be greedy enough to give 1,000, 2,000 and all. Physically, you cannot survey or go to the field sampling like that. So you have some sort of restrictions in the sample size, and also you have to design your study thing. So study design is a specific plan. It is a protocol for you. So while writing the proposal, while keeping your blueprint, you will know what is the hypothesis or specific photograph you are going to identify. The study design should be very clearly. So I told you, the reader or expert, those who are studying your project should understand your expertise, your experience, the availability of the facilities within your lab, and also your update, the literature update on par with the current status. And although it is important to describe which should be the population. Suppose if you want to study use animal models, you definitely you have to give the number of animal models or human models. Suppose you are going to work in an hospital, you have to give the number of subjects, how many subjects you are going to. You cannot even 100 subjects, you should get ethical committee clearance. So if ethical committee is coming to contact in your proposal, means one should be very, very careful before writing the project. Ethical committee norms, you should adapt, you should read, you should, on your project should be on par with ethical committee clearance, and ethical committee of your college, ethical committee, they will decide. Sometimes you may give a number of subjects more in number. The ethical committee will tell you, no, you cannot do this kind of subjects. You can reduce your number of subjects to this. So they will tell you whether animal rearing facilities, animal house facilities is available in your lab, or where you are going to get the samples out of this animal sample. From that, ethical committee will ask you the difficult questions, and also are supposed to answer. You should adhere the norms and rules and regulation of ethical committee clearance. So coming to significance and implication, I already told you. State the practical or theoretical importance of the problem, and also objective of your work is very, very important. So these are some of the explanation of that my proposal. So coming to the ethical, I already told you the ethical issues are very, very important. All researcher ethical committee implications. So each and every college or institution, we have ethical committee. We have animal. If we have animal laws, definitely we will be having ethical committee. No problem. No doubt about it. The ethical committee from Delhi will decide you. They will appoint an expert for your institution, and also a group of research people, including a veterinary doctor for you. So they will tell you, you have to explain what kind of work you are going to do. Now they will tell you how to proceed with using the ethical issues and to advocate your project, to go about your project. So they will ask critical questions like this. The ethical, see, you can see the questions in the display. The pertinent ethical question will be asked by the ethical committee, and you are supposed to answer. You are supposed to clear your doubts in the ethical committee. Then only you are permitted. Then only you are allowed. Then only you can go about your experiment using animal models. That is very, very important. So coming to the time plan of work, I already told you, don't, because your methodology experiment will be more. In the meantime, you are supposed to at least go for a national conference or a symposium to publish halfway through your results. So that will be an acceptance or approval for your work. So in the meantime, within the 3 years time, you are supposed to submit, I think, 2 research paper in a refereed journal, and 1 or 2 conference or seminar or symposium. If you want, even you can attend training programs. And also you are supposed to tell the facilities available within your lab, within the department and also within the university, and also nearby education institute if we have, we can go and for outsourcing them. And what are the sophisticated, highly sophisticated instrument which is not available in your campus or in your college or in your institution, you can tell while writing the proposal, these are the instruments essential for my work, because I don't have in our institution or in our university, I may get these facilities available in the next research institution where I want to carry out my research using this kind of sophisticated instruments. For that, for each sample, they are charging like this, because I am going to give my samples in this institution for analysis. Like that also, when your project is in science domain, you can you can write in your project proposal. So budget cost way depends on you. So I already told you, the person who are the expert sitting in the any institution is a faculty member or researcher or a scientist. They know very well per sample and also instrument cost almost plus or minus, they know. But don't be greedy, but please be reasonable. I am using the word very, very reasonable. You can write your project proposal under the cost effectiveness, under the broad heading budget, because you cannot increase or decrease the project fellowship or postdoctoral fellowship and also field assistant, because they are fixed almost. But rest of the thing, your travel, the chemicals, some sort of fluctuation and the instruments, so you can give. Please very, very reasonably, because sometimes they will say it is a very reasonable proposal, not greedy, and also a vital topic to be arrived at through a very good methodology. He or she is going to advocate. Like that, they will at least support you. Budget and cost effectiveness is financial support, non-recurring and recurring, and under non-recurring equipment and books. This is the simple flow chart of budget, support, non-recurring, recurring, equipment and books. Under recurring, you can write what are the recurring items you are in need of your project. So honorarium is up to the teachers from 60 to 70 years. And recurring grant are project fellow, hiring service, contingency, chemicals, consumable overhead, and pre-appropriation. These are all things. And under the budget aiding. So even for the institution, you are supposed to give the maximum. Nowadays, you are going to give 15% out of your project for as a to the institution you are supposed to give. So provide a narrative thing is how the fringe benefits are calculated, how you calculated travel cost, how you estimated equipment cost, because there will be one column in some of the funding agency where you have to give. Oh, this is bibliography and appendices. And the style and consideration tone. When conveying your attitude in your writing, try to strike a consistently confident tone. So your writing should tell them you are confident, you are authenticated, you are an what shall I say? You are an authoritative in your subject, in your area of research. So your words, pick up some words like that to convey that you are an authoritative in your work. You want to explore some of the things hidden or unexplored or have a lacuna to study in your research proposals. Like that, you can project your research proposal. Avoid an apologetic or arrogant tone. So I think you will understand. So please avoid apologetic and arrogant tone while writing. Even while presenting also, you can avoid these two things. While presenting, you can stress you are very confident in your subject, and you can stress you are not arrogant, not apologetic. So visual aids you can use, incorporate charts, graph. Listen, now you have umpteen number of visual aids. And entering into your academic conversation, this is very, very important. Establishing a territory, that is very, very important. So you should show the central, the basic, the vital thing, and also reviewing the thing. So vital thing, one, your niche is one, your purpose is one, where you are occupying in that niche is very, very important. Territory is a broad one, niche is a small one. Within that niche where you are occupying, your area of research is very, very important. So outline the purposes, list research question hypothesis, announce the principal findings in your niche. In your niche means that is your niche. Nobody don't come into that niche. Territory may be for others, even niches may be for others. occupying the niche, a place in a niche is yours. You are the owner of your niche. So you can outline your purpose, list of questions yours, announce the principal findings, state value of research, preview structure of paper is very, very important. This is very, very important for a research, upcoming researchers, for a research scholar. You need a academic conversation is very, very important. It is very, very useful even up to the age of 70, after 60 when you enter into a emeritus professor scheme. So outline is very, very important. Hypothesis is very important. The principal findings is important. Value added is very, very important. And preview structure of paper is very, very important. A summary of good proposal starts with a good idea. Carefully research, I use the word not search, carefully researched, matches a particular sponsor's prior. You should match. So you cannot submit a project where it is an environment project or some other project into ICMR project. So match a particular sponsor's priority. That is very, very important. You should know which agency you are going to apply for your project proposal, and a neat and well written project. And you should follow the guidelines, including the ethical committee guidelines if it is science one, if you are using animals. Describe the need for research. That is very, very important. You cannot easily write one thing because they may think it is not that much essential for your work to do. So you have to stress it is an important component for your project to work in it. So that is also important. Demonstrate, I already told you, these cost effectiveness. So this is one of the very important. I don't want to go into detail. By way of reading, avoid plagiarism, you will understand. It is dangerous, offensive, not give a good signal about you, because if you are career oriented, it will spoil your career once for all. Please avoid this. So common easy to avoid mistakes is don't follow directions. So sometimes it is not a dissertation or a project you are writing. So according to the guidelines given by the particular agency, you will write your project according to their format. So not allowing in for time is also there, because already I told you in the starting of my talk, you should have your blueprint. Blueprint should contain almost all the external aspects what you are going to address, and it must be a nutshell. If you open your nutshell, you should take out your project proposal. That is the nuts inside the shell. It's very, very important. You are going to enjoy the nuts in the nutshell. So open out the nutshell. You'll be enjoy the availability of the nuts in that particular shell. That is very, very important. Do not include who, what, where, when, they, why, and how, info. So I already given you that, but don't use this word, but convey where, when, how. That is very, very important. Then other common problems in pre-doc proposal are research problem. Everybody will say scholarly. Some of them, they'll ask you, madam, scholarly means what it is. So you should uneven or inadequate or erroneous, you should avoid for that. Writing unclear, too much jargon or accessible even, well, so if you open up the project proposal, we can able to tell it is not organized, well organized. The problem is not well addressed, like that. Because I told you, you should give, and of course, you should give an attractive title. That is very, very important. And but it should not mislead you, because you may be in one domain, the title may be in another domain. The title should focus you. You are there, you are here. So see the proposal cycle, funded. Sometimes some of the project even you maybe declined, or they'll ask you to resubmit. When they ask you to resubmit the project proposal, they will tell you what are the things you are supposed to avoid, what are the things you can be included. They will give suggestion to improve your project proposal for resubmission. If they decline or reject, they definitely reject. And also they will give the experts will give the comments. You can write one of the next proposal by avoiding all the mistakes done in the previous proposal. You can resubmit the proposal. So funded, What next is very, very important. If it decline, try again, try again, try again. So try again, you must try again and conceptualize your wave, and also write and revise is very, very important. It's not an imposition. You are adding your knowledge, you are updating yourself, you are avoiding your mistakes, you will be going in a right path to submit your proposal, that is resubmission. So one such institution I forgot to tell you, that is Sastri Indo-Canadian Institution. They are giving opportunity and they are giving partnership, and also they are giving fellowship the students. Say it is an international funding support given by Indo Sastri, that is SISI, they are giving to the scientists or research scholars, where you can enjoy the thing. The funding agency is provide opportunities to assist young scholars, to support doctoral students, to support researchers and faculty members to carry out research, to let out their scientific thoughts in so many ways and benefit, and also reorient themselves, update themselves to become one of the best researchers in India. So the funding agency motto is to provide opportunities, to assist, to support doctoral scholars, to support researchers and faculty members. Almost all the funding agency, even some of the funding agency will give you, be very good. I already told you, if it is rejected, don't disappoint. Rewrite. So you can overcome. So by mistakes only, we can avoid, overcome, and we will build a very nice scientific castle on our blueprint, and also we enjoy our scientific comforts in a very good building, what you are going to build for your own success in your career life. Thank you one and all, because I thank the organizer, the principal, the Dr. Chilian and others, and also participants for your patience hearing of my talk regarding to funding and also funding support. Thank you one and all.